Okay. So in our last class, we have uh, discussed about the behavior of dimensions and measures and different data types and some visual cues, and also discussed about working with multiple dimensions and working with multiple measures. So within multiple dimensions, we have seen that there are two ways that you can work with multiple dimensions. One is nested table, and the other one is small multiple. So we have seen what a nested table is and perform different tasks, and also worked upon few of the examples and tasks in small multiples as well. So I've also given you some assignment tasks to finish it off. So please finish them by at least by today and then send it across to me. So if you have any questions, please mention them in your emails. I'll reply back to you. Right. So I also discussed one more important topic, that is there is a there is a there is a constraint to use number of fields in either rows or columns. So by default, Tableau takes only 6. So we can increase that to 16. So if you want more than 16 also, we can do that by changing the XML code. So I'll give you the demo once again, and then uh, we'll move on to the other topics. So we also discussed in the last class about working with multiple measures. So we have discussed that there are three ways to work with multiple measures. One is individual axis. The second is blended axis or axis blending, and the third one is dual axis. So individual axis, we have performed few tasks, and in blended axis also we have performed a task. So we have blended and seen how we can show sales and profits in as a line charts in a single axis. So we have done till there. So we'll perform few more tasks in blended axis and also see what our dual axis is all about. So before that, so I'll also give you one a demo of of increasing the number of fields in rows or columns, but because that is a very important topic, and you will be encountering this while working in real time scenario. So I'm opening a uh, Tableau desktop workbook. I'm connecting to Superstore sales. So I'm using orders table. Right. So here, uh, you pressing shift, I am actually selecting multiple dimensions, and using control and then selecting the last field, I'm dragging and dropping them into columns. So there are quite a number of uh, tables here. However, you're not able to see all the values in the tables separately. So you're able to see that um, from postal code, you're able to see the data, and all the remaining fields are clubbed and shown as a single entity. So this is not what we want. So we want to show all the data as a separate entity. So how many how many columns are we able to see now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is the default. So however, we have more than 6 in the view. How many are there in the view? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So there are 18 fields that we are showing in the view, but we are not able to see all 18 in the data view here, or the dashboard worksheet view. So now what we can do is go to analysis, go to table layout, go to advanced, and increase the rows to 16. So this is the maximum amount that you can do manually in Tableau desktop. Click on apply and click on OK. So we are able to see 16 fields here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. So I'll use a dashboard, then increase the size width to see the rest of the fields. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. So we are able to see 16 fields now in the view. However, how many fields are we taking in the view? 18, right? So there are two more fields in the view which are clubbing together. So in container, we are seeing three values. Okay. So we want to show 18. So to show 18 or more than 16, we have to do one thing. So we have to save this. We have to save this workbook as a TWB file. We have to save this workbook as a TWB file. I'm clicking on save. It got saved on the desktop location. It got saved on the desktop location as book one. So I'll right click on this and, and open with notepad. So this will open a XML code before me. So I'll just click on Control F and find call. So here we are able to see that there's a restriction of 16 here. So I'll increase it to at least 30 so that I can see 30 fields in either columns or rows. And I'll go to file and click on save and close this. I'll also close the workbook. So we are able to see only 16 because the maximum amount by default amount earlier was 6 and we can adjust it to maximum 16. So we cannot see it goes to 16 but it will not go more than 16. So maximum that we can change the number of fields in the rows and columns is 16 here from desktop. So while clicking on apply, so by doing so we're able to see 16 fields in the view. However, two more fields are clubbed together. Okay, so I'm closing this. And then opening it again. Open with notepad. So it did not get saved. So I'll change it again to 30. Right, now it got saved. Now I'll open the workbook again. So are you able to see the 18 fields now? So now 18 fields are shown separately like this. So by this way, you can add more than 16 fields onto the view by changing the XML code. So now we are able to see all the 18 fields in the view. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18 fields are appearing in the view. So this is one of the important concepts you need to be aware of
I have a
while
question.
working.
When you
Yeah.
did in the notepad, like I mean, before it was 16, right? But you
Hmm.
put like 30, like what's that number? Like, I mean, if you put 18, would it still work?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So
You
how
just put
many
like,
ever? Yeah. How many ever number of rows or fields that you want to show in the column? You have to put that number there.
okay.
Okay. Right. 80 works. Yeah.
No, I'm saying if you put 18, just 18, it would work still?
18. Yeah. If you, oh, 1/8. Yeah. If
Yeah.
you use 18, so that will also work.
It
So
will
to
show
be on a
the.
safer side,
Mhm.
if in future, if you want to use more than 18, so I've kept it as a 30.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay. So if you even use 18, you will get 18 as the maximum.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, this is about the uh, increasing the number of rows functionality in the view. So in the last class, we have seen till axis blending, where we have tried to blend two axis sales and profit in a single view. Right. So we'll we'll move on to the next topic. So I'm opening a new dashboard workbook. The training superboost sales as the um, data source and orders as the table. Going into the sheet. So now in this task, so I'm performing the same task to understand blending axis. So this is a continuation with to the earlier class, last class. So we are discussing axis blending or blended axis, right? So in this task, we'll display customer segment wise and category wise total sales, uh, and average discounts, total sales and average discounts in the form of a blended axis. So we will blend discount and sales in a view and then try to see this. Right, we'll first drag customer segment and into rows and and also category into rows. This will subdivide the view into uh, categories. So view of consumer segment into so different categories like this. Now we'll use sales into, we'll drag sales into columns. So this will show sales like this. Now we will drag discount and drop it into existing sales. So we'll drag discount and we'll drag the discount field into the existing sales axis like this. So now we are able to see that discount and sales are shown side by side. So to differentiate that, we'll uh, hold hold the control button and drag the measure names and drop it into. So we have measure names here, measure names containing two values, which is sales and discount, sales and discount. So we'll show that in color so that we are showing sales and discount in different colors. So from dimensions, we'll select measure names, or even in measure names, we can click on control, which is in filter, and then show it in colors like this. So sales is in blue, discount is in orange. So discount being very less in number, so we are not able to see compared to sales. See, the discounts. So we'll try to drag discount into true tape. See, the discount is only 8 when compared to sales. Sales is a huge number, almost a million, close to a million. So discount is 8. So that's why it's showing as a very small number and it's almost invisible. So however, there is a value beneath it. Okay. So we have to note here that a blended axis contains only one marks card. So we have blended sales and discount in a single axis like this. So blended axis contains only one marks card. So there is only one marks card here. However, for individual axis, we have multiple marks cards, right? So here in blended axis, we only contain uh, one marks card because of a single measure value axis. So we have only single measure value axis. That's why we will have a single marks card. So in blended axis, we can combine measures with different scales of units also. So for example, here we have used sales and discounts. Okay. So discount would be in percentages and sales would be in numbers. So uh, we can in blended axis, we can combine measures with different scale of units as well. Okay. Right. So now we will perform another task. So we'll display year wise. So we'll use order date and we'll display year wise and month wise total sales. We'll use total sales, average sales, minimum sales, and maximum sales in the form of a blended axis. So we'll drag the order date and drop it into rows for 2 times to get year and month. We'll use order date and drop it into rows twice. So we get year and for we'll set the date level as year and month. So from quarter we'll change it to month because we want year and month. So we have year and month view like this. So now we'll drag sales and drop it into columns. Okay. And we'll now drag sales and drop it into column. So here we have uh, sales, which is sum of sales. Okay, so we wanted to show total sales, average sales, minimum sales, and maximum sales. What do we want to show? We want to show total sales, average sales, minimum sales, and maximum sales. So that's why we will change this to change the aggregation to average. Okay, so we'll drag sales again and drop it into uh, existing axis. We'll change drag put into existing axis like this. So now we'll change the aggregation of sum of sales in the measure values, sum of sales in the measure values into minimum. Now we will again drag the sales and drop it into the measure values. And change the aggregation to maximum. We'll drag sales again, drop it into measure values for getting sum of sales. Now we'll change the colors. We'll assign palette to show different sales values with different colors. So now using a blended axis view, we are able to show total sales, average sales, minimum sales, and maximum sales divided by year and month in a single view like this. Okay, so you can swap columns and rows also, and then see the view like this. Okay, so you have sales, total sales, average sales, minimum and maximum sales in a single view with the blended axis like this. Okay, so this is about blended axis. So now we will discuss about dual axis. We'll discuss about dual axis. So what is a dual axis? Dual axis compares two measures with separate axes but on the same plane. So here we are comparing multiple measures uh, with single axis and this single plane. However, in dual axis, we'll compare two measures with a separate axis but with the same plane. So we'll perform a task to understand this. So we'll display year wise, we'll display year wise, or we'll use order date for this, or year wise total sales. Okay, year wise total sales and profits in the form of a dual axis. We'll use sales and profits in the form of a dual axis. So we'll drag order date into column and sales into rows. So now we'll drag profit and drop it into the other end of the sales axis. So we have to be careful while doing this. So while doing a dual axis, so while drag dropping the other the second measure, so we have to now drag profit and drag into the other end of the view. So till now we have just placed the measures onto the same axis. Now to have a dual axis, we have to drag the second measure and drop it into the other end of the sales or the first axis, first measure axis like this. So here it is sales. So now we are getting two axes like this, right? So you have to drop it on the other end of the first measure axis. So Tableau will automatically create a dual axis like this. By doing so, Tableau will create a dual axis like this. We have to note here that to maintain the same scale on both the ends, so we have to maintain the same scale of the both ends. If you want that, so we have to right click on the second axis and select synchronize axis. Select synchronize axis. We have to we are able to see here that sales is 10 million and um, the profit is 25,000 K. So 2500 K. So we want the same axis to be shown on both the view, both the axis. So we have to click synchronize axis to show both on a same axis. Now profit and sales are having same axis values. Okay, so you have to note here that to maintain same scale on both the ends, we have to right click on the second axis and select synchronize axis. Right. So we now we have to right click on the profit axis and uncheck show header. So we don't want to show both axes like this. So if we show one axis, that is enough because both axes are the same. So I'll uncheck show header so that I'll not see the axis like this. So I'll not show any axis because if we show one axis, it is enough. So we'll right click on the sales axis and edit axis and remove the sales title because we are not showing any sales here. We are showing sales as well as profit here. So we can write measure values as title, or uh, we can write measure values as title here, or we can delete it altogether because it is showing values for two measures. Okay. Right. So we have to note here that with axis synchronization and hiding the second axis, we can display multiple measures with multiple marks cards. So here we are getting multiple marks cards, right? So earlier example, we are having only one marks card in the earlier example. So in dual axis, we are having multiple marks card here containing only single axis and only single pane. Okay, this is having only single axis and single pane, where we are having multiple axis in a dual axis chart. So we have to note this, right? So we also have to note that using dual axis at a time, we can compare only two measures. So using a dual axis, we can compare only two measures at a time. Okay, here the two measures are sales and profit. So also we have to note here that on dual axis, on a maximum, we can create up to 4 axes. Okay, on a dual axis, on a maximum, we can create up to 4 axes, but we can compare only two measures. Okay, so we can compare only two measures, and in the process, it will display only two marks cards. So anyways, we are comparing only two measures because it's a dual axis chart. However, we can create up to 4 axes. We can create up to 4 axes. Okay. In which type? In dual axis type. Right. So, um, so this is an assignment task to you. So what you need to do is for creating a dual axis. So you display content wise total sales in line and total profit in bar chart with only one axis. So you create a dual axis with different types of um, charts, total sales in line chart and total profits in bar chart like this. So that's a assignment to you. Okay, so here what we can do is, so we can change the chart type as well. So for sales, we can change the chart type to bar, and for profit we can keep it as line. So in dual axis, we can combine two measures like this by showing different chart types. Okay, right. So here we have combination charts as well. So we'll look at combination charts now. So if you combine multiple charts in a single worksheet, then it is known as a combination charts. So if you combine multiple charts in a single worksheet, then it is known as a combination charts. Okay, combination charts are possible with multiple marks cards. Okay, combination charts are possible with multiple marks cards. Therefore, we can create combination charts with individual axis and dual axis as well. Okay, so basically uh, they are possible with multiple marks cards. So we can create combination charts with individual axis and multiple axis as well. So we can create multiple axis and dual axis and individual axis. For combination charts, we can create combination charts using individual axis and dual axis, which is having two axes or only single axis. Okay, right. So we'll perform a task to understand this. So now we are performing task for combination charts. So we'll display continent wise. We'll display continent wise total sales and profit in the form of a bar and line chart, color code bar and line chart, color code sales with continent, and profit with profit itself. So we'll see how we can do that. So using dual axis, we'll drag continent into column and sales into row. So we'll drag profit and drop it into other end of the sales axis for creating the dual axis. So this is the sales axis. The other end of the sales axis, we have to drag drop profit. Okay. So you have to click on the sales card and select bar. There's a sales card here. So select bar here. In profit card, you select line. So we'll drag continent into colors of sales card. So go into sales card in colors, remove measure names and uh, drag continent into colors. In profit, drop color into profit card. Drop profit into color of the profit card. Okay. So you will see the color hue, lesser the profit, lighter the shade, darker the shade, higher the profit. So this way, you'll be able to see dual axis having having dual measures. So you can also synchronize the axis here and then choose not to show the other axis and remove the click on edit axis and remove sales here because it's showing both sales and profit values. So by this way you can create dual axis for two measures. Okay. Right. So we'll perform one more task. So where we will try to display year wise. So using order date, we'll perform year wise and month wise total sales, in the form of a bar and average discount in the perform. So we'll also give um, average discount in the view in the form of a area chart. We'll color discount with department. Okay. So we'll see how we can do that. So first we'll try to do that using a individual axis. So and also try to do that with a dual axis. So we'll perform two steps. Okay. First, individual axis. And then we'll try to do, so later we'll try to do a dual axis. Okay. So now first we'll drag year using order date into columns, and then we'll try to create month using using order date. So we'll have quarter here, so we'll change the quarter to month. Right. So we have year and month in the view. We'll now have sales and discount into rows. And we'll change the aggregation to average for discount. And discount will change the default properties. We'll go to number prop format and change it to percentage. We'll use 1 decimal point. So we'll show discount in percentage. Right. We'll click on sales mark card and select bar. Select bar here. Okay. And we'll click on discount and select area. Okay, we are using different chart types for individual measures. So we'll drag department and drop it into the discount card, or into the color of the discount card. Okay, so by this way we are creating an individual axis where we are showing different departments um, on average discount and also sales. Okay, so we can create a view using individual axis like this. So we'll try to do this, uh, do do the same visualization or a similar visualization using a dual axis. So with the same type of fields. Okay, so we'll duplicate this and rename this as dual axis. So we have we'll keep year and month in columns. um, we'll remove sales from here and we'll keep average discount in rows. Now we'll drag sales and drop it into the other end of the axis, because this is a dual axis chart. We want to have a dual axis, so we'll do this. Okay, so we'll click on discount card and select area chart. So in discount we have anyways area chart. So this is an area chart. So we'll check if it is an area chart also. It's an area chart. It's fine now. So in sales card, we'll select bar. Okay. So we'll remove the measure names like this. We'll remove the measure names like this. So this way we can show the same measures and dimensions in the form of a dual axis. So this is the individual axis. Yeah, this is the individual axis and this is dual axis. So we can show that with a dual axis like this as well. So okay, so this is how we can uh, either show the data as an individual view or a dual axis view, right?
Hey Kranti,
Yeah.
why did you remove the measure name? What is the difference actually?
So what is it creating is uh, it is creating see if you have a measure name like this.
Okay.
So if you have a measure name like this, so it is creating
Oh, it combined.
a view like this where we are not differentiating the bar and the or the in the area.
Okay.
So to remove that, we are actually deleting the measures from color.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Okay. Right. So you got an idea of how we can use a dual axis right now. So now we have combination axis chart. So we'll try to see combination axis chart now. Right. So what is a combination axis chart? So if we combine multiple chart types, that is line plus chart, bar chart, etc., and multiple axes, that is individual axis, dual axis, and blended axis together, then it is known as a combination axis chart. So now we have seen individually what is a um, multiple chart type, okay, which is line plus bar chart. We have mixed both line plus bar. We have seen what is a what are different axes like individual axis, dual axis, and blended axis. So if you combine both multiple chart types and multiple axis types together, so it is known as a combination axis chart. So in the charts where we mix both multiple chart types and multiple axis types, it is the chart type of a chart is known as a combination axis charts. So we'll perform a task to understand this. So in this task, we'll display category wise total sales. So category is the dimension we will use. So category wise total sales, okay, and total profits as well. Total profits in the form of a bar. So this will be category wise total sales and profits will be in the form of a bar. So this will contain a single axis only. So single axis will show both uh, sales and profits. So again, we'll show average discounts with a dual axis bar with line chart. So we'll show average discounts with a line chart as a dual axis. Also, we'll show order quantity. Order quantity as a circle with a individual axis. And then within that individual axis, we'll show a dual axis for number of customers in area chart. So we'll use customer ID for number of customers as a area chart using a dual axis against order quantity. So we'll see how we can do that. So we'll first try to plot total sales and total profits against categories. So we'll drag category into columns and then sales into rows and profit into existing axis. So we'll get a blended view like this. So in a single view, single axis, we will have both uh, profits and sales. So we will drag discount and drop it into other end of the axis to get a dual axis. Okay, we have dragged discount and dropped it into other end of the axis to get a dual axis. So here we'll get measure values. Okay, so in measure values, we also will have measure values as a marks card here. So in measure values marks card, select bar to show measure values as a bar, and in discount we'll choose line. Okay, right. Now we'll drag order quantity and drop it into rows. So we also want order quantity, so we'll drop that into rows like this. And also customer ID is another field to know the number of customers. So we'll use customer ID. So we'll convert that into measure first, and we'll use a customer ID into the other end of the axis of order quantity. Replace it here. Okay, and change the aggregation to count distinct. So even discount is average discount, right? So in order quantity marks card, we'll select circle. So in customer ID marks card, we'll select area. So in a single view, we are able to get um, category wise, category wise total sales, uh, and also total profits. Sales in blue and profits in green. Also, uh, we are also having that in the form of a single axis bar. So those profit and sales are showing in a single axis. Also, they are showing in type of a bar chart. So we are also have average discounts. So average discounts are also shown in as a dual axis like this. Okay, we are having average discounts as dual axis. So for order quantity, we are showing circles. We are showing in the form of a circle chart type. Okay, so that's a individual axis, and on it we are showing number of customers. We are showing number of customers. Okay, so hover over the data point to get the numbers. So if you want to have sales, you see the sales. We'll see profits. We'll see average discounts, order quantity, and number of customers. So this way you can use you can use uh, combination axis charts to show a lot of data in a single view like this. Okay, so we'll perform one more task to understand this. So here we'll display month wise total shipping cost. So for month we'll use order date. So we'll show this, will display month wise total shipping cost. Okay, shipping cost is the measure here. Okay, we'll also show average unit price in um dual axis bar chart, bar plus line chart. Okay, so we'll also show average unit price um, with bar plus line chart. So we'll also show average order quantity in this as individual axis as a circle, and we'll also show product based margin as a dual axis circle. So first we'll display month-wise total shipping cost. For that we'll drag order date into column and change the date level to month, because we want month-wise total shipping cost. So we'll drag shipping cost into rows. And unit price into the other end of the axis, because we want to show it as a dual axis. Okay, so this will create a view like this. So we'll go to shipping marks card and select bar, and for unit price we will keep a line. So we'll make this automatic to line. Okay, so we have um, shipping cost and unit price shown in bar and line charts. So we'll drag order quantity and drop it into rows. And change the aggregation to average. So we'll drag the margin and drop it into the other end of the order quantity axis. So product based margin will drop it at the other end of the average order quantity. So this will create a dual axis like this. So we'll click on the order quantity marks card and select another chart type here, maybe square. And for margin, for product based margin, marks card. We'll select another chart type here, circle. Okay, so we'll decrease the size a bit. So now again we'll drag sales and drop it into rows. And drag profits and drop it into the existing sales axis. Right? So we have another dual axis like this now. So basically we are having combination axis charts. So we'll drag order ID and drop it into other end. Okay, so we have sales and profit. Okay, so for profit what we'll do is, so for profit we'll drag it out into the same end on the existing sales. So we'll have an axis having a single a view having single axis. So we'll drag order ID. So we'll first convert order ID into a measure, and we'll use order ID and drop it into other end of the measure value like this, and change the aggregation to distinct count. So in measure values marks card, so we'll select bar, and in order IDs marks card, we'll select a circle and just decrease the size of the circle a bit. So this way we can create combination axis charts like this, having multiple measures. Um, we are showing dual axis here. We are showing uh, dual axis, blended axis as well. So we are showing blended axis like this, and also dual axis like this. So if you want to show a blended axis, drag drop the value on the existing axis, and if you want a dual axis, just drag that measure onto the right of the view. Okay, so this way you can create combination axis charts. This way you can create combination axis charts. So this is how you can play around with multiple measures. So we have seen how uh, we can make use of or display multiple measures. We have also seen how we can work with multiple dimensions. Okay, so this is about working with multiple measures and multiple dimensions. Any questions till now?
Oh, I'm good, Kranti.
Okay, great. So we'll take a quick break. So in 5 minutes, I mean, we'll come back. We'll meet again, and then we'll see the topic called filters. So there are different types of filters that we can apply in Tableau. So we'll see that topic. Okay. So bye. See you after about 5 minutes.